I have watched 47 software projects fail. Different industries, different budgets, different themes, but every single failure followed the exact same pattern. And here's the kicker. It starts not in the developer's code, but months before a single line of code is ever written. I'm going to show you that pattern, the warning signs that you're probably ignoring right now, and a simple strategy that can prevent 90% of all software failure. You know that founder, maybe it's you right now. You've invested months, maybe even a year, and tens of thousands of dollars into this dream that you have. The software technically works, the developers did a great job, but deep down there's a sinking feeling in your stomach. Something is fundamentally wrong. Your beta users aren't engaging the way you expected, and those essential features that you spent a month building are being completely ignored. And every time you try to fix the problem, it just creates 3 new complicated ones. And you are terrified of having to tell your team or your investors that the money is gone because you built the wrong thing. This is the sound of a project spiraling. We're 90% done for the last 6 months. We just need to add one more feature. That's feature number 47. And beta users are giving great feedback. All 3 of them who are your friends. And my personal favorite, once we launch, we'll just iterate based on real users, hoping that the launch is going to magically save it. I saw this exact scenario play out with a founder who spent $100,000 building a beautiful marketplace platform. The design was perfect, the code was clean, enterprise grade infrastructure, and they launched it and there was just crickets. It turns out users in their market didn't want the complex marketplace with profiles and ratings. They just wanted a simple directory. And the founder built a Ferrari when all the users wanted was a reliable Honda. And that is the emotional core of this failure. The crushing pain of realizing you've just wasted 18 months and 6 figures building something nobody wants because you just wanted to over-engineer it. And when the product fails, the damage is way bigger than just your bank account. It doesn't stop with a failed launch, it creates a destructive silent ripple effect that crashes through your entire business and leaks into your personal life. First, your business falls into this black hole. You're stuck in a cash reserve crisis with 0 revenue to show for all that work. And worse, you can't pivot because you're emotionally and financially locked into the flawed path that you chose. While you're desperately trying to polish the wrong product, your competitors are shipping simpler, effective solutions that solve the actual user problem. You lose market credibility and that valuable window of opportunity just snapshot. Next, you get the team morale crash. This is truly awful. Your developers are building things nobody uses. That's demoralizing. Your early believers, the people who are all in on your vision, start losing faith. And the best people, the ones who could actually help you pivot, they start quietly updating their resumes. Everybody becomes cynical and team morale just absolutely crashes because all of that effort feels completely wasted. And finally, the personal toll. This is the part nobody talks about. Imagine having to tell your spouse that you need to take another loan after the first 50,000 produced nothing that users actually wanted. The guilt of that conversation, the anxiety your family feels, watching the financial stability erode. That stress and shame strain every personal relationship you have. And this is why I'm making this video, because the problem isn't the code, it's the foundation. And here is the false belief that costs founders millions. If we build great software with all the features users might want, they'll come. That is a lie. The truth is, users don't want features, they want their problem solved. And most of the time, you are just guessing at what their problem actually is. The principle is this. You want to validate the problem before building the solution. And most software fails because founders, 1, assume they know what users want without ever actually truly asking them. And 2, they build everything at once instead of testing small critical assumptions. And 3, they confuse good ideas with validated problems. I learned this the hard way with a massive project I worked on, the museum Bluetooth beacon disaster. So I built audio guide apps for museums using Bluetooth beacons. In theory, it sounded amazing. In my office when testing, it worked perfectly, but in reality, it was pure hell. On site, metal sculptures blocked our signals. Thick stone walls treated Bluetooth range estimates as fiction, and crowds of people with phones created constant chaos with interference. The technical part was actually easy, but the real world had other plans. I was so focused on building elegant technology that I didn't spend enough time understanding how the technology would actually be used in real chaotic conditions. And that is the pattern I see everywhere. Founders validate the idea in theory and then build based on best case assumptions, and then it falls apart. Let's look at the spiral that traps most projects. It starts in months 1 to 2 with the excitement phase. You have a brilliant insight. You talk to a few friendly users who say, yeah, that sounds great. You assume validation and you start building. The painful reality check, your friends are just being polite. Sounds great never means I'll pay for this. And then comes the building phase. In months 3 to 6, development starts. based purely on your vision. Scope creeps because everything seems important. The reality, building everything means you build nothing well. Scope creep is a silent killer. Next, you hit the almost done phase around months 7 to 10. The core features technically work, but it doesn't feel right. You keep finding one more thing to add and the launch keeps getting pushed back. And the harsh reality check, if you can't ship it, it doesn't exist. Finally, you get to months 11 to 12 and it's the launch phase. You finally soft launch and early users are confused about what the product even does. Adoption is slow or non-existent, and the brutal conclusion is that you built the wrong thing. You can eliminate the most expensive risks in a month. And this is a simple 4-week strategy used by the best teams at places like Shopify and Brex, where every feature is validated with real users managing real money. And here's how we run it. The first thing you do is problem validation. For the entire first week, you need to talk to 10 to 20 people who have the problem you think you're solving. Don't pitch your solution, just understand their pain. Listen for the exact words they use. The core question is always, how are you solving this problem today? In week 2, you move to solution validation. Now you're showing mock-ups or describe your idea. Watch where their eyes light up or where they look confused. The best question you can ask here is, can I charge your card right now for early access? If they hesitate, you have not solved a big enough problem. For weeks 3 and 4, you build the smallest testable version. Build the absolute minimum to test your core assumption. This might be just a landing page with a waitlist. It could be a manual service that looks like a software platform, but you're doing the work by hand. What we call the Wizard of Oz MVP. It's the one feature they can't live without and nothing else. Finally, we move to the next phase, where you test with real users and real money. You want to charge something, even $1, to prove that they value it. Watch how they actually use it, not how you think they'll use it. Identify the core features they can't live without and kill the features that they ignore. Only then do you build for scale. You now know what to build, you know people will pay for it, and development is faster because the scope is crystal clear. You've eliminated the most expensive risks. It's not about being perfect, it's about not wasting time building things nobody wants. When you shift from building first to validating first, you stop being a founder hoping your idea works and become an operator who knows their product solves a validated problem. Your business is transformed. You spend 1/10 of the money getting 10 times better results. Your team's morale skyrockets because they are building things that matter, and your partner investors see traction, not just mounting expenses. One client was about to spend $200,000 building a full platform. I convinced them to start with a $5,000 MVP. They learned in 3 weeks that users wanted something completely different. They pivoted. They built the right thing, shipped in 8 weeks, and had their first paying customer within 30 days. That's the power of validation. Other founders will ask you, how did you ship so fast? And you can tell them the secret. It's not about building fast, it's about knowing what to build. If you're about to start building software or you're currently mid-project and something doesn't feel right, I want you to answer these 3 questions honestly. How many potential users have you talked to in the last 30 days? Have any of them offered to pay you for the solution you're building? And can you describe the one core problem your software solves in 1 sentence? If you struggled with any of those answers, you are building blind. I want to help you prevent a 100K mistake. Book a strategy session with me. The link is in the description below. In 90 minutes, I will show you how we can validate your core assumptions before writing any code and the smallest version that you can build to test your idea, and how to know with confidence whether you should keep building or pivot right now. I've watched 47 projects fail. I've helped dozens succeed. The difference is always the same. Validate before you build. Let's make sure you're building something people actually want.